technically speaking, the Howling Banshees have Eldar femboys. Because
they're
they're
all female.
Well, here's the thing. Even males wear blue-plated armor.
I thought Howling Banshees could only be female.
Well, that's the thing. I believe that's old lore. But technically speaking, in this lore, males can be Howling Banshees, but they still wear the blue plating. So they're girl modding. So that makes them femboys.
How very progressive of the craft welders.
Based. Billions must thrive.
Billions. Yeah.
The Eldar boy carrying cake.
Oh, no. Oh. The tactical Blaha.
It's fucking base. Fucking base, yeah. Turk. Fucking base, man. Turk.
Yeah, man.
One mark will be vehicle 6. Comprised of warrior women.
Hi friends, I'm LJ Jarvis, and welcome back to Lewis Jarvis Show.
Before we begin, let us thank you for clicking onto this video. If you'd like to see more videos like these, consider subscribing and hitting the bell button so you'll never miss an episode. Now, on with the show.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to On Air with Jarvis, the podcast of all things Warhammer and general stuff I find of interest. Returning once again to our little show, please welcome the Turk and Drip, the Smashin Badger. How's it going, sir?
I'm going well, Lewis. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. I'm doing good. It's always great to have you on the show.
It's always great to be here.
Mm-hmm. It's always fun to have you on, and the conversations are always fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We have plenty to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We have plenty to talk about today, too. I'm excited. I've been excited for this episode.
Yeah, and even before then, it's like there's a lot of stuff I was doing that I was looking forward to talking about in a podcast, and it's like, for example, I just did my exam not too long ago, and even though I didn't pass it, I decided to reward myself with a new model of Farsight, so that was really cool to do.
Oh, yeah, it's that Farsight model. You finally got yours, huh?
Yeah, I finally did, and I will say right now, Farsight is the GOAT of all 40K, all right? No, I will say it. He's not a Primarch, he's not like... I'm going to be a champion of humanity, or I'm an Eldar destined to wield the sword or whatever. No, this is a Tau in his battle suit carrying the sword. He is the anime protagonist GOAT, okay?
Okay, I will give you that, but I have a counter argument. The GOAT of the Tau is Kais.
He was only in one book, and Kais is a xenophobic traitor to the Empire.
Hell yeah, he is. Listen, I like racism. No, I do like Kais a lot. Farsight is badass. Like, he is probably like my favorite Tau character in terms of the narrative of the Tau.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of just like sheer badassery, I gotta give it to Kais.
Well, there's no model of Kais.
There isn't, no. That is true. Well, any ghost kill can be Kais. And
yeah, you were actually talking about that in a tweet or something like that once. How the ghost kill... Yeah, you really like the ghost kill, huh?
Oh, it's my favorite battle suit. Like, by far, it is my favorite battle suit.
Yeah, I actually have one for the Shadow Sun army I was doing, but...
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, that was really cool. I like the paint scheme.
Yeah, I just
you did for your old Shadow Sun, by the way.
Yeah, I just hope to finish it because it's like I'm struggling with a white paint that I was using, and sometimes I have to put multiple layers on it.
Yeah, white is always rough to paint with. That's why I ended up going with bone white and the Deathwing instead of white scars or something.
And here's the thing. If you want pure white paint, like, you would go for something called pure titanium white, and that's not a Games Workshop paint.
No, isn't that like Sir Vallejo, isn't it?
Pro Acryl, is that how it's called?
Yeah. Pro acrylic or something.
Yeah, it's like that makes all the other white paints look gray in comparison. It's like that's the most white. That's the most white you can get.
Yeah, I need to pick that paint up at some point, but it's never in stock at my local game store.
Mm-hmm.
It goes quick, so it must be good.
Oh, it is really good, and yeah, even when I reapply that paint to like my Space Marines, it's like, well, the difference is night and day.
Oh yeah.
Speaking
of which, your Space Marines have been coming along really, really well lately.
Oh yeah, and to those who don't know, I have a Space Marine army named Mjolnir, who I just recently renamed the Thunder Angels because I decided to make them, Blood Angel successors. And recently I had this huge boom of inspiration of repainting them. And yeah, I've been having really fun with that. It's been amazing.
Yeah, they've been coming along good. The Mjolnir, you used to call them the stepson of McCrack, didn't you?
Well, that was one of their names or one of their titles because they were Ultramarines originally.
Yeah. Well, I actually kind of really like that little epithet you gave them, and I thought of a way you could keep it if you don't mind me homebrewing your own homebrew for a second.
No problem. What do you have in mind?
So I was thinking, during the Heresy, in Ultramar there was the Imperium Secundus, where it was like Sanguinius Allion and the Ultramarines.
Yeah.
What if the Thunder Angels came from a line of Blood Angels that stayed in the Ultramar systems?
Okay.
Then they could actually be, the stepchildren of Ultramar.
All right, I don't see why not. I like that idea. Yeah. I haven't thought of that idea.
Yeah, well, I've been on a narrative kick lately, thinking up some homebrew stuff and things like that. So, yeah, I was preparing for this podcast, I was just flipping through Twitter and saw some of your posts and remembered that conversation you had.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I really like that idea, and I think I'll keep that idea. I'll definitely make note of that.
Why not? It's free to use.
Mm-hmm.
They are your homebrew.
Yeah.
After all.
Yeah, I think I will. And
awesome.
Even going back on like Malls on Tau, I just want to comment right now. I'm going to eat good this year because I'm getting the Crude, and you seem to be most excited on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the new Crude models, but that's not what I'm most excited for. I'm excited because it's the auxiliaries are finally getting attention.
Yes, and that's true because, and there's something I think Games Workshop has been neglectful. But keep in mind, I think the Tau Empire have been most treated well in terms of alien armies in 40K.
I think Tau are probably second to the Necrons in terms of getting most attention from Games Workshop.
Even before things like 8th edition, they were treated very well. Like when they were given new broadsides, when they were given the Riptide, and they were treated very well, I think. But seeing like the new auxiliary races, like the Crude gain their spotlight, it's like, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes me hope that there'll be like an upgrade kit to make like Guavetta or the human Tau, or even just like some minor, like even if it's just like a kill team of different auxiliaries, I think that'd be cool. Yeah,
it's like I wouldn't mind seeing like new Vespids, like a kill team of Vespids. Those wasp people.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Vespids. I do think that if there's ever going to be new Vespid models, it's going to be in Kill Team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll get like an actual range refresh.
Yeah, because here's the thing too about Crude, right? So, technically speaking, they were meant to be their own army, like way back when. But what happened was that the idea never went through, and they would actually be mixed together with an even newer army that Games Workshop was developing, and that would be the Tau Empire. Mm-hmm. So, the fact that we even got even more models of the Crude, and that the fact that they can even be played as their own army, this This might sound cheesy, but it sounds a bit poetic. It is a bit poetic.
Yeah, they're finally putting that idea into fruition, even if the crew are still mainly in the Tau Codex. I do remember in the live stream reveal they did say you can run a whole Kroot army.
Yeah,
and I think that definitely be something that'd be a lot of fun to see.
And here's the thing,
because the Kroot. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh no, go on.
I was going to say, because the Kroot do bring a really unique element to Tau armies. Where the thing with the Tau, they're usually more like they're like a gunline army.
Yeah, they are
mostly. Yeah. So, but whereas the Kroot, you can kind of have a bit more variety and like closer range units, and relying on more like a bit more variety in gameplay, which is not only fun to use, but it's also fun to play against, because Tower can be kind of annoying to play against a lot of the time.
Yeah, especially if you castle them, put them in one area of the board and go pew pew pew.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm guilty of that, because the Storm Surge is the goat of gun turns.
It's brutal. I hate it. Yeah, especially if you're playing like a more melee focused army like Nids or World Eaters.
Yeah, because I was playing against one guy and he had like a 5-man squad of Primaris Marines, 2 wounds each. Yeah, one plasma blast at them and he was reduced to 2.
It's brutal, but I do like it fits a Tau. It does fit the Tau to have them be a started blasting.
Yeah, the almighty invincible Imperium of Man got a bloodied nose from the Tau Empire.
Oh god, yeah. People need to put some more respect on the Tau's name. They can hold their own, but part of that whole deal where the Imperium is so big, if they put all of their focus on the Tau are done.
They would be. If this was the 30k, if this was the 30k Imperium of Man, yeah, they'd be fucked.
Oh, if this was Great Crusade era, Imperium, half Tau's done. League of Votan would probably get a really stiff run for their money if they were seen as Xenos. Yeah, Great Crusade era was crazy because you had full Space Marine legions, and 18 to 20 of them depending on the time.
And even right now, I want to say to get to the point and get to right into the episode, and because you seem the most excited for this, and I'm most excited for this, and to get to the point, you like the Flesh Eater Courts, yeah?
I love the Flesh Eater Courts, man. They have single-handedly got me fully into AoS.
Yes, one of us. I got you AoS Pilled. Yes.
Yeah, I am fully AoS Pilled. I really, really like the Flesh Eater Courts.
Yeah, first AoS Pilled, then Tau Pilled.
Hey, I've been Tau Pilled for a long time. Don't worry about that. I actually, again, before we go on to the Flesh Eater Courts, I remember playing the Tau video game back in the day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that was a banger for young Badger.
I don't know. On a quick note, I think looking back on it, I haven't played the game, but I did remember one guy commenting that while it is a fun game, you're better off playing Halo.
Oh, absolutely, but it's Warhammer Halo. So, it's that little bit better than actual Halo.
But Flesh Eater Courts.
Flesh Eater Courts, man. They are so much fun. They're so cool. The idea of these undiagnosed schizophrenic cannibals just completely living in delusion. It's so fun and interesting.
Yeah, here's the thing. Even in AoS First Edition, when Flesh Eater Courts were a thing, I didn't think much of them because I was all right, these were just old mods from Warhammer Fantasy bundled together for AoS. It's I didn't think much of it. But when I read the book Ghoul Slayer, in which Gotrek was fighting against the Flesh Eater Courts, it's seeing the perspective of these like warped vampires. It's like, wow, this is pretty cool, interesting, and tragic and disturbing at the same time.
Oh yeah. That's something I will say. The Flesh Eat Corpse. One of the reasons I love them and why they are my AOS army of choice is because they are very versatile in terms of what you can do with them from a storytelling point perspective. Because you can lean into the humor of it, where they're, the grim humor of these horrific like cannibals that think they're nobility, and you can lean into that. Like I remember there's one excerpt I read about them where they're fighting, I'm assuming humans, and one of the knights like offers this guy to be his squire.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and he's like, you would make a fine squire, and it's this slobbering like cannibal that was just eating this guy's friend. And then on the opposite side of that, there's another thing that I read where one of them gets a moment of clarity away from the delusion.
It's like, this guy's baby. Holy shit!
Kind of, yeah. Where it's like,
I'm eating the baby directly from the womb.
Yeah. Oh, grim. But yeah, it looks at its hands and just starts screaming.
I have no mouth and I must scream.
No, they have the mouth and they will scream.
Yeah, they are. It's like air pitching.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting to me how much you can do with that from like a storytelling perspective. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love them so much.
And
sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking back on it, they actually remind me of the creatures from the movie The Descent.
Yeah, I definitely think that the Descent was a big influence on them, at least aesthetically speaking.
Yeah, it's like these warped humans, even though they're not trapped in a mountain like the ones in the film, they have the same idea where it's like they're vampiric, they eat off the flesh of humans, really fucked looking. Yeah, they're like cannibals and things like that. And the aesthetic alone, is definitely heavily taken from The Descent. Like when you look at normal ghouls compared to the creatures in The Descent, you can definitely see there was some inspiration there. So will you call Flesh Eat Corpse ghouls though, or will you call them like, warped vampires like how I described them?
I would call them ghouls because not all of them are vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Like what it is with the Flesh Eat Corpse, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the vampires are the ones that like fuel the delusion.
Okay.
So you'll have these war-torn areas where people succumb to cannibalism in times of need and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what then happens is a vampire, a corrupted vampire will go into this like area, and from that vampire, the delusion will start to spread.
Okay.
And that's when these regular people who turn to cannibalism will turn into ghouls. Okay.
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, it's like a whole system to it, and then you have Usharan,
the Summer King,
the Summer King, the noblest of Dark Souls bosses, where he's the one who has like the strongest delusion. He's the epicenter of it all.
Yeah, it's like immediately when I saw that mod, it's like it says Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, they've been really leaning into the Dark Souls like sort of boss vibes with the big models lately. Like you have the Lion, you have Usharan. It's good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's like he looks chunky, but really in game he's really fast.
Oh yeah, I still am figuring out the rules of AoS, so I can't really speak on how he is gameplay wise.
Oh no, like I mean, I bet if he was a Dark Souls boss in a video game, I bet he'd be like really fast running. It's like, oh holy shit!
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he would be fast and have but mainly use heavy attacks with that big ass mace of his.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or I would also call him the King Henry VIII, the model.
Probably like early King Henry VIII.
No, like I mean late years, like chunky
No,
boy.
no, because I think that's just his cloak. I think that's just his cloak and his hunchback. I get the idea that Ushtran is actually a bit of a twink underneath all of that. Bit of a twunk.
But actually, this is something I just thought of. So you're playing Army of Cannibals, right? They're in the feasting halls. They think they're eating fine meal, but really it's just flesh right off the human corpse, and they're drinking.
Yes.
They think they're drinking wine, but it's actually blood. So what's happening is that you're playing an army of Catholics.
Oh no, I am playing an army of Catholics, aren't I? Well, they do have like cardinals and things like that too. So yeah, they are probably the most Catholic AoS army.
Yeah, even the title of the thumbnail, the flesh-eating Catholics. It sounds like a Jack Chick comic strip.
Yeah.
To those who don't know, Jack Chick is like this evangelical who wrote comics and shit like that about his idea of Christianity, and he did do a few comments on Catholicism.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no skin in this game, so
I do though. But so it's
of this Catholic versus Protestant versus Orthodoxy, it all means nothing to me.
Yeah, but
the Catholics do. The Catholics have the best strip. I'll give them that.
They have the best, presentation. I'm just saying, because go to any lame ass American church is like Jesus saves, but for Catholicism, it's
True, but the Orthodox do have decent chants too. But that's the only positive thing I'm going to say about the Orthos.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hagia Sophia is ours, not theirs.
And I want to even say this about Fleshier Chords, yeah. So
yeah,
I think this shows that even though AOS is like very colorful, and even though something like Stormcast Eternals, they wear armor that's that can basically make up the F-150, in terms of like chunkiness. AOS is not, shy of showing like dark fantasy, or they're not shy of showing body horror.
No, exactly. I do think that that AOS is starting to reach a bit more of a grim setting to it. Because I've actually been looking up a bit more about fantasy lately. Because I've been with AOS and all that other stuff. That I've been looking into, as well as you and Hubrick, and some other like YouTube videos I've been watching. So I have been finally getting into the fantasy side of things. I do think that compared to old fantasy, AOS is more not necessarily high fantasy, but they're very different in tones.
It is.
Yeah, they're very different in tones. Where in terms of tones and in terms of like world too, I will admit I lean a bit more towards the old school fantasy. It took me a while to get my head around the different realms in AOS, and that was something that initially did kind of like pause my interest a little bit, because it seemed a little bit disconnected from everything, and I still don't fully understand what's up with the whole realms thing.
They're basically to my understanding, they're like basically bubbles of reality almost.
Yeah, that is kind of what I get from it. That because I kind of thought like they're not like separate planets.
They're almost like planets, but not so much. Where you will definitely call them planets. Yeah.
Because what I thought with them initially was like each realm would be just like one area. It'd be like Sigmar's realm, and the only thing there is the big citadel of Sigmar. When it's more of like you have isn't there 5 realms? How many realms is there?
I'm thinking there's 6. It's like based off the magics from Warhammer Fantasy, is like Shaiish, Heist. I can't really list them all right now, but
we'll say
eight.
there's
I think
six.
there's eight.
Say there's six.
Eight.
I don't know. There is a undetermined number of realms, but it's not like there's like it's not like one realm is just one city. It's like there's different planets basically.
Yeah, where there'll be a theme like in Chinese, it is the realm of death, but it has different areas where each area has its own aesthetic and what's going on. So it's not like all of Chinese is just one big graveyard. It's not like that.
No. And personally, I do enjoy the old world. Like you had Sylvania, you had the Empire, you had the other places. So I personally enjoy that more, and I enjoy the tone of the old world more than AOS. But I do like AOS. But anyway, the point I was getting to it's very different tones, and AOS is starting to kind of find the grim darkness that fits into its own niche instead of relying on the sort of grim darkness that worked for the old world. If you get what I'm saying.
I do get what you're saying, and I think it's something I do want to comment on, right? So 40k is grimdark, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the way I see it is that Warhammer Fantasy is dark, but there is more hope in it than 40k. Because my whole point is that even though fantasy is dark writing, it is dark fiction, it's not Dark Souls.
No. It's not Dark Souls, but it's a different sort of grimdark to 40k.
Yeah,
I don't want to really compare 40k with either fantasy or AOS because they are fundamentally very different settings.
Yeah, because it's something where you can chase your own tail at for a long while.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
And no PC gamer, or I'm pretty sure whatever game article you were, AOS is not Imagine Dragons.
No, it's very not. It's very much not. AOS to me feels more like a setting that is like a living, breathing mythology.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like it's a setting where the gods themselves take to the battlefield and things like that.
It really
is.
And
yeah, it's a heavy metal like rock opera as a setting.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Stormcast literally riding lightning bolts down onto the battlefield. You've got giant cannibal cults flooding, into great cities, and
you have mushroom goblins.
You have mushroom goblins, and then you compare that to old school fantasy where it's a lot more like Renaissance. There's a bit of an idea of an industrial revolution with the Empire, and it's very the gods of fantasy. That again, I don't know. I'm not a full expert. I'm honestly very far from an expert. But old fantasy does seem more like it's when the gods are starting to kind of not fade, but become a little less relevant.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of
you have. Yeah, again, I don't know 100%. I'm still very new to fantasy. And I think it's an interesting contrast to Warhammer 40k, where a major theme in 40k is stagnation, compared to fantasy, where it seems that one of the major themes is progress.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's you have the Empire that's constantly, inventing stuff. Guns are starting to come into things, and
the rise
of Empire. The rise of industry.
Yeah.
Whereas
sorry,
40k is more. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. It's whereas or something for elves, the high elves of Warhammer Fantasy, even though they're masters of magic and they're masters of their old time, technically speaking, they're in a state of constant pause. Whereas compared to humanity, they're going forward. They're able to invent guns and such.
Exactly, yeah. And I refuse to learn anything about the elves.
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh, man. You know what AOS army I do not like?
Fire Slayers?
Fire Slayers, yes, but the Lumineth.
What?
Isn't it? Like they're the high elves.
They're the light elves of Warhammer Fantasy. It's like, dude, they're gorgeous.
No. The high elf aesthetic is cringe.
What?
The entire high elf aesthetic, like no matter what the setting, the high elf aesthetic is cringe. I don't like it.
I can get for like Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, but it's like, no, I like the, Lumineth look. They're not high elves, they're light elves.
No. Oh, okay, all right. No. Every like no matter what the setting, if there's like a stereotypical like high elf aesthetic, I will not be drawn to that faction like at all. I just don't like the aesthetic. And Dark elves though.
And for some reason,
I like.
And for some reason, all elves are British.
Well, that's just because we are the superior nation.
You lost. You lost to colonists.
We did not lose them. We gave them away.
You ran out of money.
Yeah, we did, and we're still running out of money.
And it's like, what money?
Hey, man. I'm half British and half Turkish. Economy for both of those things are not great. But anyway, before we get into politics, let's go back to why elves are cringe.
I thought you didn't want to talk about politics. Oh, what, Jarvis? I thought you didn't like politics.
I hate politics. But I'll tell you something that will actually surprise you, I think.
What?
Do you, when it comes to like the fictional elves, Craftworld Eldar are actually one of my favorites in terms of aesthetic.
Okay, that can get.
Yeah. Despite what my Twitter may have people believe, I actually do quite like the uniqueness of the Craftworld Eldar in terms of their aesthetic, where they kind of have that like sort of Eastern like vibe to them.
Especially like they're like different aspect warriors. I like that.
Aspect warriors are my favorite thing about the Craftworld Eldar. It's their greatest saving grace, in my opinion. Like I really like the warp spiders. I hope at some point warp spiders get a update.
Yeah, Dire Avengers are always my favorite.
Dire Avengers are fine, but they're a little vanilla, which is
it's
sort of supposed to be.
It is supposed to be that they're more meant to be like advanced soldiers when compared to Guardians.
Yeah, exactly. They're like Guardians Plus.
Yes, but without the subscription.
Yeah, without these. Oh god. But yeah, so Dire Avengers are fine. I like the Howling Banshees too. I think they're pretty cool.
They technically speaking, the Howling Banshees have Eldar femboys. Because they're
female.
Well, here's the thing: even males wear blue-plated armor.
I thought Howling Banshees could only be female.
Well, that's the thing. I believe that's old lore. But technically speaking, in this lore, males can be Howling Banshees, but they still wear the blue plating. So they're girl modding. So that makes them femboys.
How very progressive of the Craftworlders.
Based. Billions must thrive.
Billions. Yeah, man.
That the Eldar boy carrying cake.
Oh, no. Oh. The tactical Blaha.
It's fucking base. Fucking base, yeah. Turk. Fucking base, man. Turk.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I don't like most elves, but the Craftworld aren't too bad. But that could just be my inherent 40k bias coming through.
And you know what? Because we're deep in 40k, and I think this is a good way to segue into it, right? So, and to get to the point, are you looking? You must be looking forward to the new Dark Angel stuff, yeah?
Oh man! So
here it comes.
I actually have a bit. All right. I have as a whole, really like the Dark Angel stuff. Purely from a model standpoint, I'm eating good. Like, Deathwing Knights look amazing. The upgrade kit we got finally has scratched an itch.
Yeah, I want that plasma can for my Terminators. I want that.
No, it's ours. You need to paint them as Dark Angels.
Hey, I'm painting them in a red casing. It technically counts.
But yeah, like the upgrade kit is great. The new Belial model is stunning. I really like it.
Immediately out of the way. I love Belial. I love Belial.
Belial is great. Like, I haven't built him yet.
Are we fortune tellers or something? I'm sorry. Are we fortune tellers?
I think we are.
Yeah, because we talked about that.
I think we are. We did. Yeah, I think we are like prophetic like oracles.
Yeah, because we talked about that in an episode. It's like, oh, they'll do a new model of Belial. They'll have upgrade kits for the Deathwing Terminators, and look what happens.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's we are oracles. We need to make a prediction every time. Either every time I'm on the podcast or every time me and Hugh are on the podcast, we need to make a prediction because we did the same with that White Scar Shaman.
Yes, we did. It was awesome.
Yeah,
we're writing the plot.
Hey, who knows? Maybe you have a Games Workshop higher up listening in.
Fucking base. He likes my opinion. Base.
Hell yeah. But yeah, the Dark Angels have been doing really well. Belial's model is really cool. Asmodai is perfect.
Yeah. Oh boy, you'll crucify me for this. I just think his model is fine. He doesn't wow me when compared to the others.
Fine? What do you mean fine? Explain yourself.
For they hated him, for he told the truth, but they shouted, "Crucify him!" Right?
Crucify him. We don't know him.
Yeah, no. Heubrecht will tell me I don't know this man. He denies me 3 times.
If you are the Son of God, why don't you come on down off that cross?
Exactly, huh?
Oh man. Yeah.
They pay you in silver for betraying me. You betray me with a kiss, Badger.
I would 100%. But anyway, yeah. Explain yourself. Why is Asmodai mid in your opinion?
Okay, I can get they were trying to make it look like the art piece, but I don't know. I think aesthetically he doesn't wow me when compared to the other Dark Angel characters. Unfortunately, sorry, it's just that. It's like compared to the other characters, he looks mid. I'm sorry.
But that artwork is like iconic. That is
but it's like
the most iconic like Dark Angels artwork out there.
Yeah, I can get that, but it's like Helbrecht, his looks really cool, and Grimaldus looks really cool because it fits the art piece. But I'm sorry, Asmodai doesn't fit. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
And I'm already being nailed on a cross as we speak.
You see, I could have let that slide.
Why do you hate your king so much?
Until you brought up the Black Templars.
Okay.
How so very dare you give Hubert any ammo? How dare you give him any?
I lost my childhood. How dare you?
Shut up. How dare you give Hugh more ammo against me?
How dare you?
I
lost my childhood. How dare you? I got COVID. How dare you? How dare you?
But no, I like Asmodai. They did a really good job with it. It's got smoke. He's stubbing a Fallen's helmet, man. How could you not?
I don't know. I just think the smoke doesn't do it for me. At least in the way they did it, sorry. I'm sorry, but compared to like Azrael or Belial, it really excite me. Asmodai, not so much. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
Your opinion is objectively incorrect. But yeah, I can agree. Belial is very good. They did a really good job with that. They gave him the widow's peak, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
With that receding hairline, I appreciate that quite a bit.
But here's the thing. I will say one thing about Belial, all right? I like that they give him 2 different heads, like, the bald head and the hood head. But why not helmets?
Yeah, I can agree with that. That does seem a little stupid.
Like, here's the thing, like, even with Calgary, he has, like, a helmet option.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because, like, I don't know if there's any art of Belial wearing a helmet. I don't think he ever wears a helmet.
Well, I get that, but I would have liked the option.
Yeah, I mean, they should have added the option, but it's like...
I don't think your whole enjoyment of lore will be ruined just because one character decides to wear a helmet.
Yeah, but the hood is cooler.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like, oh god, Games Workshop went woke. They gave this character a helmet. Oh god, go woke, go broke.
Oh man,
I'm burning my Belial model as we speak.
Oh god damn it! Those people that burn their 40k models are the stupidest people alive. Like, I remember back when
when they killed
AOS.
Fantasy? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember also people burning their old fantasy armies.
Yeah, some manager at Games Workshop's probably like clean his eyes with money. Is like,
yeah, you sure showed us.
Oh yeah, you showed them, guys.
Yeah, man.
Game butt line smashing it on video.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you sure showed them.
Yeah, but yeah, in terms of the models, Dark Angels refresh has gone really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see some Ravenwing, but at that point, I'm just complaining to complain. Like that's
Ezekiel.
Like, I can't.
He's Ravenwing, yeah.
Yeah, Ezekiel. No, that Ezekiel is the chief librarian.
Okay.
Samuel.
Thank you. He will have been.
Samuel is the head of the Ravenwing. I was thinking they would actually use Samuel to introduce new jet bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has a jet bike, like a personal jet bike.
Yeah, like even if the rest of the Space Marines don't have jet bikes, if it's something like exclusive for Ravenwing, I think that would have been cool. And Samuel, he looks really cool.
Samuel is really cool. He's a cool character. Ezekiel, I really want to get a new model of, because Ezekiel is one of my favorite characters in all of the Dark Angels.
I don't know him, but his model looks cool.
Yeah, he's like the chief librarian, and he's also like, is it? I think his title might be like Keeper of the Keys. I might be getting that confused with Azrael.
So he's the Pope then.
Maybe. I don't know much about Catholicism and the Pope's titles.
Yeah, because St. Peter, he's given the keys to heaven, and in his statues he holds keys.
Who knows? Maybe. So what I'm hearing here is that the Dark Angels are chosen by God.
Yes, very based.
Checkmate, Kubrick.
Yeah, checkmate. They're called Angels of Death.
Hell yeah. But yeah. So I would have liked like an Ezekiel model and some Ravenwing stuff. But as a whole, I'm very pleased with the range refresh.
But let me ask you.
Go ahead. All right, no.
You know what? No, you go first. I'll tell you my complaint later.
Okay, so where I have a problem is with the codex and the story of the Dark Angels.
Oh?
Because the line has returned, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought that would be like a big shake-up to the chapter.
Yeah, it's
in reality, not really, not yet. Because at the moment, it's like he's not really doing anything about like the Fallen. I was hoping, there would be a thing with the Dark Angels where it's like they have to confront the fact that, okay, we've spent 10,000 years fucking up, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lion then being like, stop fucking around and actually act like the angels you are meant to be. Instead, it's more of like there's more like the secrets are all still there. The Lion is still keeping secrets, and I expected that to an extent. But after reading his Lion, Son of the Forest, a big part of that is him coming to terms with the fact that being as secretive and as paranoid as he was did more damage to his legion than he thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there's not really been any change in
I hate that when they happen. It's it's repeating the Gilliman thing again.
Yeah, exactly. It's repeating the Gilliman thing, and I'll tell you why I think that is. Okay.
Why is that? Well, they know they can't advance the story too much, or else they'll have to do end times, and they can't.
No, but it's not even just that. I think it's to do with the Dawn of Fire series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they can't advance the story much. I mean, look at the fourth Tyrannic War, right? The Tyranid War that's going on now.
Yeah,
they can't really do anything much with that at the moment because the Dawn of Fire series is still going on. Mm-hmm. The Dawn of Fire, which sucks. The Dawn of Fire series sucks.
Oh right? Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the first book. I didn't continue the series after that.
It's just so many of the books are just dull.
Yeah.
It's so the Dark Imperium books. They were the original publication of them was set after the Indomitus Crusade.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they changed it to where, because of the Dawn of Fire series, they had to fit it into that storyline.
Oh boy!
So they changed it.
No.
They changed it because I got the republished trilogy.
Okay.
They changed it to fit into the Dawn of Fire storyline, where Dark Imperium, Plague Wars, Godblight, all of that. It fits into where Imperium Sanctus has been secured, and Indomitus is now going out into Nihilus, right?
God damn it!
So it goes into they're telling us about all this stuff that's happening in the Indomitus Crusade that we do not need to know. I don't need to know about all these minor stories that don't really do much to the main plot of the story.
I would have liked to know what happened during Indomitus Crusade, before the Dark Imperium books came out, but it's now they're trying to fix it all up. It's you're making more of a mess.
Yeah, it's holding back the story now because everything they need to now rush through the Dawn of Fire series to actually get to the things people are caring about, like the Lion's Return and the Fourth Tyrannic War. And all this stuff that is actually
Votan.
Ark of Omens, Votan, they got to then rush through this Dawn of Fire series to be okay, the Indomitus Crusade, this is what's happening, yada yada yada. What they should have done, and I'm gonna go into a different series at the moment. So, in A Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh fuck! Here we go.
A lot about that. Hold on, just give me a chance, please. So, in A Song of Ice and Fire. The main series is set after Robert's Rebellion, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we never actually see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the characters were alive when it happened.
Yes.
So then you can have these characters that were alive during Robert's Rebellion mention some of the stuff that happened in there and use it as a way to characterize stuff.
Okay.
You have Barristan Selmy in the books and that, where everyone's he's such a badass, he nearly killed Robert. It was crazy. Or you have John Connington, he references failures, his failures in the books. Mm-hmm. If they had handled the Indomitus Crusade like that, where we never actually see it, but we have all these people that are veterans of it, and then they can make references to it in relevant storylines. Let's say in the Fourth Tyrannic War, you have this one Imperial captain or this Imperial admiral.
Okay.
And, you could then build this character up by saying this guy did some crazy shit in the Indomitus Crusade.
Or that a Navy person that was in the first book. Yeah. I forgot her name.
Exactly.
I forgot her name, but if they did something like that with her, it's that might have worked.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a war hero of the Indomitus Crusade and things like that. Instead of just being like, here is everything that happens in the Indomitus Crusade. And so much of it is just boring.
That's the worst part, when it's boring.
Yeah, because in the beginning of the Dawn of Fire series, a lot of it was like Primaris being introduced into new chapters.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to show that, that's fine. But now you don't need to continue.
But here's the thing.
Series. Let it end.
You know what the problem is? The Dark Imperium books are doing this.
Yeah. I mean, even,
like, you know,
Warhammer...
when we saw Ultramarines joining the Nova Marines, it's like that initial culture difference. We saw that.
Yeah. And even in Warhammer Conquest books, like side stories, in the War of Secrets book for the Dark Angels, that goes into what happens to the Primaris in the Dark Angels. Like, we don't need the Dawn of Fire. Mm-hmm. And it's holding back the stories that people are actually, want to learn more about, like the Lion's Return, or the Fourth Tyrannic War, or the Ark of Omens. And it's like, the story can't progress until the Dawn of Fire series is finished.
Mm-hmm. That's shameful.
Yeah, and it's like, it's holding back the narrative of the story. Because you can't have, like in the Codex, for the Dark Angels, you can't have the Lion shaking everything up. Because they might, one, it's a Codex, and two, it's like, I don't know, you just can't do it. Because then the question is, all right, why isn't the Lion then doing all this stuff,
Because you would expect so much to change with him coming back. Yeah,
exactly. You would expect. It's a Primarch returning.
That's the same thing with Gilliman.
Yeah. Like, Gilliman I can kind of see, because he is...
Well, I mean, he did the most change. He did the most change. And there was that initial conflict, but it's like, 2 have now returned, and I don't want there to be a civil war, but you would expect, him and Gilliman to be spinning at each other.
I don't think you would. I genuinely don't. I don't think they would spit, or have a spat at each other. It doesn't make sense, but they're for them to have a genuine actual disagreement, because it goes against the Lion's character as he is now, where he's a lot more reasonable.
Okay.
But yeah, you would think there would at least be something more.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't get to that until this Dawn of Fire series wraps up and we can move on from the Indomitus Crusade.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so models are good, but I can't help but feel like the story for the Dark Angels isn't really going to progress for another year at the very least. So however long it takes to wrap up these books.
And you know what? I'm going to ask you this right now, because this is my critique on Dark Angels. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why not go all in with naming their Dark Angel characters after Fallen Angels? Or, with demon names, because we have Belial and Asmodai, huh? But why is there no Mammon?
Well, I think that goes more into yes, there is Dark Angels, they take biblical names, but they do also take names that are inspired by Arthurian myth too.
Okay, yeah.
So you have Asmodai, Belial, and
Lazarus,
and you got them right. Ezekiel and things like that. But for that, with that you also have characters who are named stuff like Gileas and Bors and Lahore, these sort of Arthurian names that are taken from Knights of the Round Table or things like that. So it depends on really, what sort of flavor they want to go with. I do notice that the more Arthurian sort of names do tend to be with Heresy era Dark Angels, like Corswain and things like that, back when Caliban was around.
Oh, okay.
But I think a Dark Angel called Mammon would be pretty cool. I think that would have been cool for a Dreadwing Marine.
And you know what?
Like a war criminal.
Yeah, because I'm going to say, because I was thinking of naming one of my, Thunder Angel characters with no subtlety at all. Name him Diavolo.
I love it.
That's Italian for devil. Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
no salty at all.
Yeah.
Terminator chaplain named Diavolo.
I love it, man. Do it. Subtlety be damned. I named one of my like homebrew fallen characters after Judas Iscariot. So probably the most infamous traitor in history, named after fallen named after him.
There's a little Blood Angels character named Astaroth.
Yeah, Astaroth the Grim.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who is meant to murk the Death Company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that just got me thinking. So the Thunder Angels, they're Blood Angel successor now, right?
Yeah.
You'll have to make a Death Company for them.
I am. I will.
Or I will. Yeah.
So I actually even did a tweet about this, right? So if I were to get like another box of Assault Intercessors, the guys with the chain swords, I'll paint half of them with yellow helmets and the other half as Death Company.
Do it. What color scheme are you thinking for Death Company?
I think I'll keep it the same, like pitch black armor with red X's and stuff. I'll keep it the same.
You say that, but there is a Blood Angel successor that have an all white Death Company.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they sort of inverse the thing with the Death Company, the original, where their Death Company is more like a pure white.
Even then, I was thinking of painting like a Sanguinary Guard. If they were to do models of them, I think I would paint them silver.
I like that. I think that would be really cool. That'd be a unique twist for Sanguinary Guard for your own custom dude.
Yeah, like silver armor, black halo, and maybe red wings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like. Ooh, the red wings would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. That's that. Oh, man, do that. Red, silver, black, red wings. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I love going all in for Blood Angels with these guys. It's like the inspiration is awesome.
Do it, man. Do it, yeah. Like, homebrewing is so fun.
And you know that Terminator that comes with the Leviathan box?
Yeah.
Or the Terminator captain on the Tyranid, right?
Yeah.
I already have a name for him.
Go ahead. What's the name?
Methuselah.
Oh, that's awesome. Methuselah.
Is that that's how you say his name, right? Noah's grandfather?
I think so. Methuselah. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. By the way, you know what I plan to do with my version of that Terminator captain?
What?
So I have some leftover like old Raven wing bits that have like Hussar wings.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna stick those to the back of like on his like Terminator armor, so he looks like a Terminator winged Hussar. Yeah.
Oh, fucking based.
Yeah, I haven't got around to doing it yet, but that's on my list to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an interesting thing. I guess I want to ask you. So, what will be the Islamic version of Methuselah?
Well, the thing is, when it comes to Islam, is that it's kind of the same thing, really, because
I was just thinking like translation difference.
Oh, translation difference. Oh, good question. I have no idea. I'll look that up for you now, but I have no idea.
Like someone was telling me about this. I guess you can call it demon. I guess in Islam, it's named Metatron. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
But what? At first, I thought that was a Transformers character. Megatron, Galvatron, Metatron.
No, yeah, I think Metatron was like originally a Jewish angel. I could be wrong.
And I'll probably get my head caught for that joke.
Oh man, it's.
I am sorry.
Thing, yeah.
I now see the error of my ways.
Yeah. Well, no, it's like it was
in a pitch black room with a camera, guys in hoods, and I'm like, I am sorry. I now know I should not have been so ignorant.
I now know that Warhammer is no place for Canadians.
Or that Law and Order episode where it's like, I now know that Warhammer's not for females.
God damn. Law and Order was such a fucking, like, terribly funny show.
It's like there's no subtlety.
No, it's not. And they have no idea what they're talking about either. Like that whole fucking, that video game episode where the guy starts, like, having schizo
Go
visions
home.
when he's in a video.
Go home, gamer girl.
Ridiculous.
No guy looks that good. I mean, no one who talks like that looks like that. He has to have like acne scars.
Yeah, it has to have acne scars. Has to smell.
Mm-hmm.
How it goes. Them to rule. But yeah, so that would definitely. Yeah. What were we talking about again?
We were talking about like Metatron or something like that, but Dark Angel stuff. I want to go back on this topic, right? Because I was going to ask you this question in a previous podcast, but we never got a chance to do so.
Go ahead.
War of Secrets. And we were just talking about that earlier this episode. What do you think of that book? Immediately, what do you think of that book?
Okay, so I've actually been rereading this lately, and I think that it is a good book, but it's a far better Tau book than it is a Dark Angels book.
Base. Fucking base.
Yeah, because
I like the Tau
story. I like the Tau bits quite a bit, to be honest, because like it shows a side of the Tau that you don't really see too much, being the much darker side of the Tau. Because a main plot point of the Tau is that we need to kill these humans. We need to like massacre these humans, but we can't be seen doing it.
Yeah, because to those who don't know, this is Tau from the Four Sphere exhibition. And to really put it short, the Tau were experimenting with warp technology so they can travel across space in a much faster rate than they usually do. Because before then, they just relied on cryosleep, whereas all the other races, they had some form of, warp travel or whatnot.
They had some form of FTL.
But the issue is that they didn't have any Geller fields, and they, used all these devices all at once on their ships. So what happened is that they were all dragged into the warp, and they had no idea what that would involve. Like being in an ocean of hell, all these demons.
Yeah, there's a great part in the book too where it's a Tau commander looking back on their time in the warp.
Yeah,
and they say how all they could do was watch as like all the auxiliary races like humans and crew were just like fed on by demons. But because the Tau was so like have such dim souls, the demons didn't bother them until they were the only ones left. So they had to watch like all these like client species just get massacred.
And during that time, they actually came face to face with what would be a Tau chaos god, or at least a shadow of a Tau chaos god.
Yeah, the embodiment of the greater good by the more like warp powerful species.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. It's like, in my opinion, it's not an actual Tau god. It's because the issue is that this is made from, species who have a more psychic presence within the warp. So what's happening is that humans, who are, the most prominent and most numerous of the species, and because their souls are more brighter, and because they see the greater good as a religion, what happened is that they started creating a god, intentionally or not, in the image of Tau. However, by that, it's not a true Tau god. It's something made of others. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually say that in the book quite a bit, or they make reference to it in the book, where it's not necessarily a god, but it's like a philosophy projected into the warp.
Yeah.
Because humans believe, so strongly, that it's like, it's not necessarily a god, but it is like, that goes, everything goes into the whole, what is a god in 40k if not belief personified?
Exactly, and they were actually exploring this in the Shao Sun book, which I thought was really awesome.
I haven't read it.
Oh, dude, I loved it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, but I love that story bit within, War of Secrets, and if I could say something real quick, the stuff that features the Dark Angels, I really like that. But before I share my opinions on that, what did you think of that?
It was okay. It was okay. I think it fell into the pitfall of it leaned into the Dark Angel. I get it, because the whole conflict of the Dark Angel story is that the Dark Angels do not trust the Primaris. And it's from the perspective of a squad of Primaris.
Mm-hmm.
For the third company, I think. And but it leans a little bit too much into Dark Angels keeping all their secrets and doing shady stuff. Which I do like. I like that the reveal is that the Dark Angels are MK Ultra-ing their fucking Primaris Marines to make them essentially meat fields.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to where they're they have a sleeper agent trigger word that just whenever it's said, it'll put them into a trance where they just go into battle.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, so they don't ask too many questions.
What I will say...
Yeah, that's... go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, what I will say is I really liked the, culture difference between the Primaris and the Firstborn Dark Angels.
Yeah, I like that. I did... the thing that kind of bothered me a little bit is I didn't like that the main character, worshipped the Omnissiah. I thought that was a little weird.
I liked that because, well, he didn't worship the Omnissiah. I always thought of him as, because he was brought by Call, and because most of the Primaris were from Mars, or from the Martian culture, technically speaking, compared to chapters they would, later interchange with, they're Martians, right? So they would say or part of the Mechanicus culture, so they would say things like Omnissiah, the machine gun stuff. I liked that.
I think that's true for some of the Primaris characters, but the main character specifically did explicitly worship the Omnissiah. Yeah, he did he did genuinely believe in it. Something I will say I did like a lot about the Primaris and War of Secrets was how they went into the biology of the Primaris. A major plot element in that book is what the Belisarian Furnace does. Mm-hmm. That was cool to read. Where it's that last hit of adrenaline, so the Primaris Marine can hopefully kill whatever lethally injured it.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
and so that was cool. But as a whole, I found the Dark Angel portion of that story to be a little lacking, but compared to the Tau. But considering Phil Kelly wrote it and he is Mr. Tau, I kind of expected that.
I got to sacrifice a bull or something to get him on the podcast.
Oh man, that would be such a good episode if Phil Kelly ever got on this podcast.
And
because he writes Tau amazingly. They're basically his love child.
Mm-hmm.
It's those Farsight books.
Oh, dude, they were amazing. They were amazing, man.
Yeah. I love the first one starts with a Tau propaganda film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so interesting to actually get that look into Tau culture and how it does differ from humanity. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, even in War of Secrets, we got really cool segments with the ghost kill, cycling on the conversation from earlier.
God. Kais is so cool. Where he nearly wipes out a fucking successor chapter, man. Kais is crazy.
That ghost kill is basically the Predator alien,
Yeah, man. Kais is basically he is the named Ultramarine of the Tau. He can kill anything.
Mm-hmm.
He is Bolt Gun. He's the main character.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. He's the main character of Bolt Gun, but for the Tau. I would love a game, a video game where you play as Kais again. That would be so much fun.
This is not the same character from Fire Warrior.
Yeah, Kais is the character in Fire Warrior.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he's in.
Is he in War Secrets?
Yeah, he's the like absolutely insane.
Holy shit! I didn't think of that. Holy shit!
That's been he's been frozen for like he's been.
Holy fuck! I didn't think of that. Holy shit!
Yeah,
this is news to me. Holy shit!
Yeah, it's the same guy, man.
Holy fuck! Holy fuck!
Kais is like crazy. You know how
he is Doom Guy. He's Tau Doom Guy.
Yeah, he's Tau Doom Guy. He's insane, and that's probably my favorite part about War of Secrets is they show you how nuts Kais is. He is like Tau are scared of him.
Yeah, because this guy, it's Doom Guy.
Yeah, he's so fucking crazy. You know in Doom Eternal, whenever you run into like other humans and they don't really know how to act around Doom Guy, that's Kais. He really is Tau Doom Guy. He's crazy.
He makes Sure Strike look like a bitch.
Oh yeah, he makes Sure Strike look like a pussy, man. I'm pretty
fuck Sure Strike.
Yeah, he is like the like one of the three main warriors of the Tau, where you have Shadow Sun, who I've been on a bit of a Tau kick lately, by the way. So you have Farsight, who was like Montcar, wasn't it? Like he mastered the Montcar way of war, wasn't it, or something like that?
I forgot, but he's more like into close combat. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you have the Commander Farsight, who has his own who mastered his own unique way of war.
Yeah.
You have Shadow Sun, who like mastered the way of the hunter.
Yeah.
And then you have Kais, who is like the embodiment of the one man army.
Yeah. And and to those who don't know, Sure Strike was Sour Sun's students, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, he was in the Force Sphere expansion as well, but what happened was that he started going, we must kill all the other races within our empire. Yeah. Humans, crude.
Yeah,
get rid of them all.
He's in War Secrets. He's like
he's also in Sour Sun's book. Yeah, he's a bitch.
He gets
fucking supremacist.
He gets throat punched by Kais. Like he's
the one that punched him.
Yeah. Kais is the one that like baps him in the throat because he's like, I don't like hearing you talk.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Like and like the guy. I think it's the same guy.
I don't think so though, because Sure Strike is commander. I think the guy Kais did punch was like one of the advisors or something like that.
I think he was Kais's old mentor.
Yeah.
Oh no, Tau names are weird. Mm-hmm. Like they all kind of blend into one, like Pure Tide, Sure Strike, like
Farsight.
I don't know, Farsight. Yeah, they all kind of start
fits the theme. It fits the theme.
It fits the theme, but it is a bit confusing.
And I even have my own Tau name. I even have my own Tau name.
Oh really?
Yeah, Stormbeam.
What is it?
Stormbeam.
Stormbeam. Very cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Stormbeam. All right, I got a question. If you were to have like a Tau like character, if you were to switch your Marine into a Tau, what battlesuit would it be?
Oh, like I already know. Like he would be in a crisis suit.
Crisis suit. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's part of the Sour Sun Enclaves. White armor, blue helmet, and orange, stripes here and there.
Very cool. I like it.
But very cool. That whole Kais thing, that fucking blew my mind. I didn't consider that.
Yeah, he's a guy from Fire Warrior. He's also
crazy.
He's also in one of the Dawn of War games, I think.
Yes, holy shit, yes.
Like he has that epic, that badass like exchange with a Space Marine.
Oh, where, he's the guy who says "Surrender, human."
Yeah, surrender, human. If not for me, if not for your men, for the greater good. Then the Space Marine just fucking calls him a pussy.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah. That's before he goes like fully like batshit insane because he gets like locked into cryostasis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't fully take, and he's fully aware for like the 300 odd years that he's in cryo sleep. So he has 300 years to do nothing but obsess on how to fight every single enemy of the Tau, and that's how he becomes Doom Guy.
You know, I would like to see him fight against War Spider. He's one of the Tau characters from Farsight's book.
Okay, all right. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, War Spider was the Tau who got possessed by a Tzeentch demon, or I think it was.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Kai'Sa fuck him up. Easy.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing. Comparing Surstrike to a character like Farsight, I will say this, and this is kind of like when Batman was fighting Owlman, right? In a certain movie. So, to me, Farsight would say to Surstrike, "You and I both looked into the abyss, and this abyss is the warp, right? But the difference between us is that when the abyss stared back at us, you blinked."
You blinked, yeah. I love that movie, man. That's probably the best animated movie DC's ever put out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree completely, because that is kind of like
Farsight is the samurai. Farsight. He's the whole samurai. I have no master, but he has mastered the idea of the greater good. Fuck the ethereals.
He is like the greater good in its purest form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shadow Sun is interesting with that though, because isn't she having a bit of a crisis of faith? At the
yes, and she's actually starting to believe in like the Tau God in her own book. Yeah,
yeah, because they mention that in War of Secrets, where Kais is like talking to this like other commander, and they bring up Shadow Sun and how she has always been intrigued by the idea of souls.
Yeah,
and like she's always been a bit more spiritual than other Tau. So I think it's interesting to hear that she is like starting to worship the actual, Tau. Quote unquote.
You know what the ultimate insult is?
What?
Right, here's the thing. You know Inyad, right? The Eldar god of death.
Yes.
You know the thing.
Very familiar.
The Tau god has done more than Inyad, huh? And Shadow Sun is basically Yvrain, but doing more shit.
Yeah, Shadow Sun is better Yvrain.
Yes, that's exactly what's going on.
Let me tell you something, Lewis.
What?
The Ynnari and Yvrain are genuinely 90% of why I dislike 40k Eldar as much as I do.
And it's a shame because that's Dusky's favorite character. But here's the thing: it's Games Workshop's fault. It is their fault. They fucked up such an interesting character.
Yeah, they did, because I was really invested in the Ynnari story.
Yes,
when that first came out, because I've always kind of liked the Craftworld Eldar, like I mentioned like earlier in the podcast. I found them to be like basically like the sort of elf I can get behind.
Yeah.
But then, and I read the Ynnari books when they came out.
Man.
And they were trash.
I think I'll give them proper read sometime, but it's like, geez, how could you just fuck up such an interesting character? They don't know what to do with her anymore.
No.
What's she been doing?
To do with her, but there's nothing to do with her, because the whole deal with the Ynnari is I needed like the crone swords and things like that. And the last crone sword is apparently in Slanesh's palace. And you know what? If Yvrain and the Ynnari were actually capable, that might be an interesting plotline. But here's the thing: in the books, they are fighting Shalaxi Hellbane, like the main demon prince of Slaanesh, or the main like great demon of Slaanesh.
Sure.
And they get fucked up. Like they nearly die, and they need to summon the Incarn, like the avatar of the Ynnari, to beat this Shalaxi Hellbane demon. Issue is, turns out that wasn't actually Shalaxi Hellbane. That was just a piece of her or it. So you're telling me the last hope of the Eldar cannot even defeat a piece of a greater demon that a named Space Marine would have no issue doing? Like, it's just such
Kato Sicarius was able to fight a little shard of a Catan.
Exactly. It's like I feel bad for Eldar fans because they have been that storyline was fumbled so hard. I would argue it's probably the biggest narrative fuck up Games Workshop ever did.
They did. They don't even feature her in any other story or a bit of lore.
It's been years.
Yeah.
And she is not relevant. The only thing keeping her alive is the memes about
art.
her fucking Gilliman.
Yes. Because he has cake.
Yeah, barely any cake. I'll tell you what. You want
She's
cake?
flat.
Go to Lilith Hesperax. All right. Go Dark Eldar. Don't come at me with that weak.
But they gave her pants. They gave her pants. What were they thinking?
Yeah, that new Lilith model is not great. It's too bulky. I don't like it. I want a Dark Eldar to be live.
And Torch Star, she has no lore. There's no actual story that features her, right? But people already assume she's a tomboy.
Yeah, well, to be fair,
she could be tomboy.
Yeah, let's be honest. She loves fire and has fire tats. That's pretty tomboy.
She'll never sell for you.
She's mine, Lewis.
I will duel you for her. For her hand.
You. I'll kill you in your sleep. I'll go dark. I'll MK Ultra you. I'll MK Ultra you like a true Dark Angel.
Oh, he's going all Aquaman silence. I kill you. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. But now the Yunari storyline is just utter trash. I feel bad for Pancreas Snowworks, who is fully committed to the Eldar, and that's the best they can come up with.
Oh God! Just imagine something like I can imagine this happening. What's his name? Hold up.
Eldrad?
No, that Chaos Demigod. Vastor.
Vashtor.
Do you think he's ever going to get any spotlight besides the books that just came out, like Arcs of Omen? I think that's it.
I want to say yes because his storyline is actually interesting.
Yes, but he's so cool.
The issue is when it comes to 40k and Chaos, all they focus on is the big four. It's not like fantasy where you have lesser Chaos gods that are far more interesting than the main four. So I don't know. It's one of those things where I genuinely think there's a decent chance that the Vashtor storyline could end up just being dropped, or not being brought up again for a couple of years at least.
What I imagine happening is that he's just villain of the week.
Yeah, which sucks because the Arc of Omen was such a good storyline.
Mm-hmm.
The Arcs of Omen was a lot of fun to read. All of the books had something that was cool in them. You had the Farsight one, which was the most filler of the Arc of Omens, but even that one was really fun. You got to see Farsight hold off in a 1v3 against demons, chaos and orcs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the Lion's Return, his duel with Angron. You had the Angron's actual Arc of Omen book, which still has one of the saddest things in it to me.
Oh, what happened? I never finished it, so what happened?
So basically the main conflict of that story is that the Imperium in Nihilus found what was essentially a dark age of technology era, mini Astronomicon.
Mm-hmm.
And Angron could constantly see that light, and it was fucking up with his butcher's nails.
Oh.
And he goes on to this massive crusade where he's I'm going to destroy that thing. And he does. He manages to destroy it. And he hits it with the axe, as Angron is known to do.
Mm-hmm.
And blows it and destroys it, which then also destroys his body.
Mm-hmm.
And for a second, the nails stop.
Yeah.
And he truly like he has the briefest moment of like genuine peace, and then he revives, and the nails are back. So it's like he's had a taste of it, and it can never be.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, but something I love, one of my favorite parts about that book in the Ark of Omen, which it gave me chills when I was reading it, is that when Angron like swings his axe down to that Astronomicon thing, Khorne gets up off of his throne and swings with him.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Right? He actually physically came there with a sword.
He didn't necessarily come there, but he like Khorne, the actual Chaos God, got up off of his throne and like swung his sword with Angron and like made this whole like Khornite curse thing, like the murder curse that drove an entire like Indomitus fleet insane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Ark of Omen was really cool. But I don't think we'll ever get more Vashtor stuff until like. So you've, like I said before, you got the Dawn of Fire books that need finishing. You've got the Fourth Tyrannic War.
Yeah.
And I can't see Vashtor coming up again until after the Fourth Tyrannic War. So you're looking at like 3-4 years.
I don't expect him to get a book or anything like that, like a novel. I don't expect that.
I don't think he'll get like a novel for himself, but I think he will feature as an antagonist.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I want to see him. I want to see him have like an interest in like Fabius Bile with stuff that he creates. I want to see that.
I disagree. I think no, fuck you. I don't want to see more Bile. Bile sucks.
He's the ultimate DILF. Fuck you.
No.
Okay, but anyways, go on.
Yeah, but what I think that Vashtor won't reappear. Won't start reappearing until rumors of another Primarch is like coming back soon. Like I think Vashtor will be like the catalyst for the next Primarch return.
If it's Leman Russ, have him be a fucking Wolfen or something, please.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that?
Yes, that conversion. Yes, I did.
Of Ushtran, where it's like chaos corrupted Russ.
Yes, I want to see him as that.
Cool. Yeah, that's so cool.
That's the only way to redeem the Space Wolves.
Yeah, man. You remember in the first podcast we made where I came up with that idea of Ragnar Blackmane like falling to Khorne with that Khornite demon in his axe.
Oh, yeah, I was the one that came up with that idea. Oh wait,
did you?
Or maybe it was you.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think that I don't know. I haven't listened to that podcast. Either way, we brought up the idea.
His name's Grimnar. His last name's Grimnar. Blackmane is the other guy.
Yeah. Logan Grimnar, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Space Wolf names are all stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he would become like a coordinated wolfen, yeah.
Yeah. I think Uthran would have made a great convert for that too.
Yeah. He would have
conversion to that, yeah. Yeah, man. Oh man, we're gonna end up talking about Space Wolves again soon. But yeah, wow. I think Vashtor has a lot of potential. I just don't think we'll be seeing it anytime soon. Because there's so many other stories that GW needs to like either wrap up or move on to.
Or just ignore and pretend it never existed.
That's probably going to be what they do, because they are Games Workshop.
Looking at your frame.
God damn it. Well, the deal is, like, at the end of the day, Games Workshop is a business, so the narrative will always follow what they want to sell.
Mm-hmm. That's how everything goes. That's how kids' cartoon shows went.
So, saying that, you would have thought, if they wanted stuff to sell, maybe give us a Votann book.
They will, you impatient fucker. It will come out.
All right, but here's the deal. Lewis. The only scrap of Votann in terms of Black Library we've got so far is on the next Dawn of Fire book, which is not even going to focus on them.
Well, I'm just saying, you can't expect, every single little thing to happen all at once. It develops. Just be patient. Let it cook. I want stuff. I want book. I want book.
All right, but come on now. It's been how many years since
it's only been a year
released? It's been longer than that, surely.
A year or two at least. Just be patient. Jesus fuck.
I'm not good with patience.
It's a virtue. I'm not good with patience either. I easily get angry.
Oh man, but now I think I'm curious. What would you want for the first Votan book?
Okay, this might surprise you. I forgot what they're called. They're the Votan on bikes. They have like the coats and stuff.
Oh yeah, the like Einhar Pioneers or something.
Yeah, I want to see a book of one of them or something like that, like them scouting out to find an old Votan hold or something like that.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I'd like that too. I think that'd be a good way to have like a really small cast in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Get some good characters out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, man.
But with that, actually, I think we've reached the end of the show. Is there anything you'd like to say before we call an end?
No, not that I can think of, man. I think this would be a good time to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I enjoyed this episode again, and I can't wait to bring you on future episodes.
Hell yeah, it was a good time. Thanks for having me.
And if you all enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you'll never miss another episode. And with that, I'll see you all again later.